What's up, everybody? It's been a minute. I'm so glad to be back. I've been busy with my PBR. As you know, I am a PBR specialist on my alt, Miss BB. I'm sure people that know me know. So I just got done making my store, and I wanted to showcase some of my materials that I've made over the past, 6 months, and how to apply them, where to buy the mesh to apply the items, and how to customize the items you already own. So hopefully you guys will stick around, and we can gain some insight on exactly how to apply PBR to some of your creations and make it your very, very own. Because I know PBR can be intimidating to a lot of people. They don't even know what PBR stands for, which I kind of don't either, but I know what it does, and I know how to use it, and I know how to make it. And I'm sure I'll figure out what it stands for eventually. No, I know, I just can't think of it right now. I know the R is rendering. I do know that. But anyway, back to the video. So I'm going to teach you how to use these beautiful PBR materials on some of your own items and on items that you buy either full perm or modifiable. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do with an unmodifiable object. And if you guys don't know what I mean, if this is not checked, you can't modify it. Okay? You can't modify it unless that's checked. The only reason I can modify it is because I made it, but only I can do it. But if this is not checked, you're not going to be able to use a PBR material. But honestly, 80% of the items, furniture that's already textured, as well as full perm, you can texture, obviously. So let's get right into it. So I went over ahead to Tool Shed and I purchased this full perm little guy here. It's a little Irish gnome. There's so many full perm stores on the grid. All you have to do is type in full perm, and I am sure you will find exactly what you are looking for. Let me show you the little box that it comes in. As you can see here, it does come with AO and UV maps. You don't use these when you're applying PBR. These are not, you don't use these unless you're super advanced, and that's a whole different video. But for basic texturing, I am going to show you how to take this full perm gnome and turn it into a PBR textured mesh. So here we go. So the first thing you have to do when you find your mesh is determine how many faces you have. And that basically tells you how many different PBR textures that you can put on your mesh. So for instance, this particular one, and the best way to do it is make sure you're under your legacy material. Go to color and tint each face. So you're going to hit select face and then just pick a random color and do the same with the next one. And this will determine how many different faces that you have to work with. And here I only have 2, which is kind of unfortunate, but for the sake of the video, I guess it's okay. But for further customization, you probably want to find products that have more than, 1 or 2 faces, unless you're only looking to put one material on it. Here, if the belt loop was a different face, that would be great. If the nose had a different face, excuse me, my throat is dry. Hold up, let me take a sip. Can't be having that. Okay, so going back to the faces, the more faces you have, the more different PBR textures. One for the shoes would have been great, but we only have 2. So I'm going to demonstrate 2 different textures to put on this little gnome guy. So I'm going to go ahead and go into edit mode, and then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure under the texture tab that you're under the PBR materials, is not if under Firestorm it's Bling Fung, and on Alchemy, which I'm on, it's under Legacy. So you don't want to be on Bling or Legacy, you want to be on PBR, okay? Once you're on PBR, you're going to drag your materials into this box. When you buy your product, your material, either from the marketplace or in World. They're going to be under your materials folder or the folder that's assigned to the material, and they're going to look like this, so you know this is a material. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to again select face. I want to go ahead and put something different on the hat and something different on the body. So on the hat, I think I'm going to go with like a maybe a green glitter. So what we're going to do is make sure we are in the PBR materials tab. We're going to drag the PBR material into the box, and it's just that simple. And then I'm going to go to the body, and I'm going to apply, I want to put something solid, maybe like a metallic gold or rose gold. Yeah, like a rose gold iridescent. So, again, I'm going to select face, make sure I'm in the PBR, and then I'm going to drag and drop the PBR rose metallic iridescent into the bottom. Look how beautiful that is. Now you can also further your customization with these PBRs, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now here's an item that's not full perm. It was bought at Zaker. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that, and they already have a lovely texture on there. However, I want my own texture on here. So what I'm going to do is make sure it's modifiable, and it is, obviously, because the check mark is there. Oop, let me scoot that over a little. Modifiable is check, so I can definitely modify it. Now I do notice there's a shadow down here, so I'm going to go ahead and select face, and of course there are more than one faces. We have the couch, and then we have the shadow. So I'm just going to concentrate on the poof, or the whatever you call this thing, and I'm going to change the texture of this. I'm going to go into the PBR. I'm going to find my material, and I think I want a white lambskin. Let's see. I really need to organize this situation. So here I'm in my PBR. I'm going to drag the lambskin into the PBR window. Oh, you know what? I tinted this one. So let me show you how to tint. Alright. Let me go back. Keep editing. Save. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's go. Let me, because I don't want to jump forward. So here is a lambskin, and it doesn't look quite right. It's, the grains are a bit too big here. The glitter is a little bit too big. The gold iridescent is pretty. And I'm going to show you how to fix that, and also how to tint white PBR textures. So let's circle back over here to the gnome. I'm going to select the hat under select face. Make sure I'm in PBR materials, and then I'm going to scale the horizontal and the vertical under the texture tab to tighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to bring this up to about a 5, and that brings it up a little bit. So you see how that changes that, and I'm going to do the same with the poof. Select face, texture, and I'm going to bring this up to an 8. Let's see what 8 gives us. Much better results, right? It looks more like lambskin now, right? Now let's say I want to further this customization of this lambskin and tint it. I'll show you how to do it, and it's very simple. You're going to open up your inventory, find the PBR texture, and left click it twice to open it. You're going to get this window, and then here is where you're going to change the color of the tint. Let's give this like a little teal moment, a light teal moment, and hit save. Now you have to reapply it because it's not going to change it automatically. We're going to select face, make sure you're under PBR, and then we're going to reapply it. And now you have a teal tinted poof. And that is how you customize your PBR materials even further. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about PBR that is in the blend mode. Basically, blend mode means see-through, transparent. So that's going to be a little bit different, and you can customize these textures, and I think people should use more of the glass textures because they are so pretty when you put them on these windows, and they're so easy to texture and customize. So I'm going to go over how to do that really quickly. So if you look at my PBR store, I do have a few available. And what you're going to do is just, if your house is modifiable, again, you can check and see if the modify button is checked. And if it is, usually the windows are face of their own. So just make sure you, again, select face, select your window, go to texture. And if you're already on legacy, make sure you move it over to PBR and drag and drop the PBR glass texture that you want in here. And I already did that. Now, of course, it looks weird, so we're going to go ahead and modify that a little bit more. So the first thing I'm going to do is maybe tighten it up a little bit because it looks kind of weird. So let's bring that up to about a 6 and see what that looks like. Okay, that's giving me more of the grainy effect that I'm looking for. Now, it's a little too dark. And I have a very colorful themed home. As you can see, I started decorating. I'm not showing you my house yet until it's done. But yeah, I want to go ahead and maybe brighten this up a little bit and make it a little bit more see-through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click my PBR material. Hold on one little bitty sec. I had to clear my throat. Okay, so we're going to left click and this window is going to pop up, and here's where it's a little bit different than the textures we used before. Blend mode is see-through and opaque is solid. So you're going to make sure you're on blend mode. You can change the alpha. Alpha is how transparent do you want it. So obviously the lower the number, the more transparent, the higher the number, the more solid. So this is at an 8 right now. I want to make this a little bit more transparent, so I'm going to bring this down to about a 6. Okay. I also want to change the color of the tint. So let's go with like a light teal. Very, very light, almost barely, but yeah. So there's that. Then I'm going to hit save. Okay. I'm going to go back into edit mode on my house. Make sure I select face, select the window, reapply the tint, and now I have that light teal, and it's a bit more see-through to give me the effect that I'm looking for. I know, excuse my home. I'm in the middle of, doing the thing. But that is how you deal with items like that. Now, I also have some other items I'm going to show you very quickly. I hope I have them in my inventory. Let's see. If not, I'm going to have to cut this. I do. Okay, so I also have an item called Brass Cast, and I want you to understand how to apply this. So I'm just going to build a prim here, and then I'm going to apply the PBR Brass Cast to it. Now, hold on, let it, it needs to render. Come on, render. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is not how it's supposed to look. And why is that? Because it's supposed to have holes in it. If you like this effect, then hey, go for it, okay? But if you want it to look like it's supposed to with holes in it, you're going to edit it. You're going to change it from blend. Is it opaque? Is that right? Oh, maybe, you know what? This is the one that I think is supposed to be solid. Because it's supposed to be opaque. Let me bring this one back in. Why is that one acting up? The opaque ones are acting up. But again, if you want the holes and you don't see the holes, just make sure that alchemy is messing up, because this is supposed to look like holes. I could take you to the shop and show you. As a matter of fact, I will. Just make sure that it's on blend so you can see through it. And let me take you over here and show you what I'm talking about. See, for some reason it's just not rendering. You know why? Because I have so much stuff open right now. But here's a picture of what it's supposed to look like once it's rendered. And if you don't get the holes, it's because you don't have it under opaque. But I just wanted to cover that so you could know that. So just to summarize some of the things that we went over, the PBR materials are definitely so customizable to your likings. Good friend of mine who owns MJ Motors, and I'll leave a link below, customized this car and gave it to me as a gift. It's so beautiful, and used all of my PBR textures. So here is an example. I have a lot of car enthusiasts who love my PBR work, and these cars down to the tire are PBR, including the interior. With the leather and the lambskin, and yeah, this is just magnificent work. So you definitely got to check out Top Flight Customs. I also wanted to show you some of the things that I used the PBR textures on. These are all the solid metallic and iridescent paints that I've made and I put on these chains. I've got a great disco collection going on right now. This is chrome, of course, on a chrome heart. You already seen the glitter and the gold metallic. And then, of course, one of my top sellers, which is black opal. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of the things that you can do and how to customize your products to look exactly the way you want. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, but I do want to do something special. Between now and let's say March 5th being the deadline, because I don't want to wait too long, I'm going to be giving away this rose gold service pack. If you like, comment and share. I would love to be able to give you a sample of this new PBR surface pack. Don't forget to come visit us at Surface Studio, and we did redo the main showroom so you can get an idea of what these textures look like in real world. And I do suggest you don't have a million things running, so that way these will render for you, unlike me, because I have Streamlabs, Filmora, and God knows what else running on my computer, and my computer is going I also have a full line of textures on the marketplace. However, my luxury textures you can only buy in store, so make sure you check those out. And yeah, thanks again for joining me. This is Skylar, aka BB, at Surface Studio. Alright, stay up, y'all.